So this is a book put out by Life Magazine called "The Day Kennedy Died," and it's obviously, a very nice memorial book. They had also put out a set like this, and when we open it up, I believe this is the same book. Yes, it is the same book, but it is built into this nice sort of presentation box, and I will show you this book. But the main thing I want to show you in this video is this presentation box also included a reprint of Life Magazine, the famous black and white logo cover for when President Kennedy was assassinated. Might as well pull it out this way. So what I want to do is look at this reprint, and then I found an original, the actual one. It even has a postage label on it. It was going to California, and I want to compare and see if there's any differences between the original and the reprint. So if you do buy this set, you'll know how closely your copy of Life is following the original. So if we look at the cover, the first thing I notice is it's faded. The original one is definitely faded. It almost has a greener color on the reprint. So, however, the 25-cent price tag, the date, and all that is identical. Now let's turn them over. And on the back, there is the same ad for Newport cigarettes. Obviously, this one is a little worse for the wear. So, and I don't see a Surgeon General's warning on either one, so they kept it exactly how it was. So, let's open the cover. And we have the same Plymouth car ad. And the same Bell telephone system ad. Let's carefully turn the page. On this page, we have an ad for Webster's Dictionary. And the same on this page. I will say this, the printing style on this page is obviously a different printing style, so it has sort of a metallic sheen, whereas this one doesn't. Then the contents. There's an ad for television set. Turning the page. And we have White Owl Ranger cigars and this ad for power tools. And we come across our first difference. As you can see on the reprint, we don't have the Ranger White Owl cigar ad. We have an ad for ice cream. And I'm not sure, it may have something to do with the fact that it was a tobacco product, and maybe they can only have so many. Now we turn the page on the reprint, and there is two ads, and they are in fact identical on the original. Let's turn the page again. Here we have another car ad and Tarzan of paperbacks. Now let's look at the original. It's the same car ad, the same Tarzan a paperback story. Turning the page again, and we have on the original more of the Tarzan article and a cigarette ad, and an ad for students to get a subscription. And here the same, except there's also part of a detachable mailer card here. I'm turning the page and there's a watch ad on the original and a section called Life Guide. And we have difference number 2. The watch ad is not here. Instead we have an ad for butter and bread, or margarine, Fleischmann's margarine. So for some reason this watch ad was omitted and replaced. Now I'm turning the page, and I can tell you that all of this is identical. GE ad to double page spread for General Electric. Turning the page, we have several smaller ads. Juilliard suits, shop and mail early, Krylon, Ronaware. All of this is the same, but we have difference number 3. On the original, there's a Sprite ad here, and on the reprint it goes straight to the letters section. So this is a big difference. I don't even see the letters section. So, okay, I think we found some major differences here now. So we have the letters section here on page 19, and the Sprite ad on the original. So let's turn the page, and now we have a double page ad for Becoming a Blonde with this hair treatment on the original, and is not on the reprint. So let's turn the page again. Now we have the letters page and an ad for whiskey that does not exist in this one. So we're caught up now on both these magazines, but we have seen that the reprint has skipped over several ads. Now let's continue. There's multiple differences. I'm turning the page. Cat is walking on this magazine. Okay, now we have this ad, Christmas ad, as it was Christmas time when the assassination happened. And as you can see, it's identical. And this toaster oven ad, as you can see, it's identical. I'm turning the page. And the next page begins the article about the assassination. I'm expecting almost all of this to be the same. Here's an article about the Zapruder film. If you watch the movie 11/22/63, you'll understand Life Magazine did manage to get a hold of the Zapruder film. Now, conspiracy theorists are probably going to tell me right now to slow down, because they're going to say if there's going to be any differences, it's going to be in this section. But my answer to that is go by your own and study it, because I don't have time to do a study like that. I'm really just kind of looking at ads. But yes, we have the same spread of the Zapruder film footage. Let's turn the page. And at a glance, this does appear to be the same as well. So, I'm turning the page. This is the same. Reactions from Americans. Okay. The swearing in of President Johnson. This all appears to be the same. And once again, the meat and potatoes of this magazine has not changed. What I'm finding fascinating is how some of the ads did change. This is the same. And now we get into a text portion. And that is the same. Okay. This appears to be the same. And now we're getting back into ads, so let's see. Death found him from this window, showing Dealey Plaza, that's the same. As well as this Campbell's Soup ad is exactly the same. So, now we have a 2-page ad for Chevrolet, and it's a beautiful ad, and it's exactly the same. And we have on this page a cigarette ad, and on this page more text. And in fact, it's the same again. The cigarette ad and the Oswald shooting. This appears to be the same. Cool TP in a hot spot, and an ad for Parker pins. It's the same. Now we have a Life Magazine ad, and then an ad for Royal Typewriters on the next page. And it's the same. And now we have an ad for, what is this? New vinyl flooring. Same graphic. Win Beauty Galore, that's the same. Now we have an ad for, it's a stamp collecting dealer's record price for stamp error. That's the same. As well as this, an additional Beauty Galore ad. And all the same. Back to original, and I guess we're not done with the stamp collector ad because it carries on to the next page, and it's the same. And clone ad's the same. Now, here we have more stamp collecting, and this gin ad, it's the same. Now we have a large colorful section of ads here, and this appears to all be the same. This is radios and TVs. We have an ad for Winston cigarettes on that page, and this movie section on this page, and it's the same. We have an ad for watches. It's the same ad. Pages are the same. We have a great 64 Oldsmobile ad on this side, and we have another difference that was actually done on the page. So look at this. This page is different. On the original, we have an ad for Sun Up Aftershave by Gillette. On this ad, on the reprint by Leadership Brands, who took the gloom out of grooming? Gosh, that doesn't even look like a real ad. It really doesn't. It almost looks like filler. But they couldn't put the Gillette ad in. How weird is that? That doesn't even appear to be real ad. That looks like a generic thing that they just put that resembles an ad. I don't... Brand names. This is not real. This is actually a fake ad that they inserted because they couldn't show this Gillette ad. Now that's strange. Wow, that's really strange. Let's turn the page. This is the same. And of course this is the same. A shaving ad that looks strangely modern on this side, and dry red wine ad on this side, and there's a little article about wood carving, and all of this is exactly the same. Next is an ad for Ford Motors and the beginning of another article, and it's the same. Next is Hooked on Speed, an article about racing. It's the same. Next is another article. It's the same. Next. Yeah, we're in more articles, and I don't think there's any issue with copyrights or so forth on any of these pages. And then we have an ad for Anison, the Smith Corona typewriter. This is all the same. More about Kennedy and Johnson. It's all the same. And more about Johnson. It's all the same. This is all the same. Same. And the same Norelco ad. Same. Now we have a Schlitz ad on one side and a small vacuum cleaner ad on the other side, and appliances and so forth. This is all the same. Next is Car Care by Ford and My Sin by Lanvin. Yep, it's all the same. Next is an ad for shoes and a full page ad for Lutheran Brotherhood. It's the same. This is different. We have another difference. Okay, on this issue we have these two sections, and then there's on the reprint Life thing about visiting or buying something about Rome. And on this page, it was a full page ad for Fleischmann's whiskey. So, another difference. They actually just cut out. Here's another completely different section. On the original, we have an ad for diamond solitaire rings and a full page ad for braziers. And on the reprint, we have an ad for Tom McCann's shoes and a generic Keep America Beautiful thing, and they have completely removed two of these editorials now. So the next page differs yet again. On this page, Circle of Safety by Life, this is the reprint by the way, and an ad for Calvert blended whiskey. On this one, we have Henry McKenna whiskey, and then there's that Rome section in the other editorial. And then on this page we have the watch ad and the brazier ad. So they did shuffle things up a bit. Now I'm so lost on this, I don't even know where we're at. But here on the reprint, there's an ad for a Christmas tree, Christmas subscription to Life, and Virginia Dare wine. And here there's the Tom McCann ad, the editorial Skillcraft. It wasn't in the reprint. Here's the Calvert ad in the original, and here's the Circle of Safety. And let me just shoot ahead a little bit. And then to get caught up, this section was completely not in the reprint. It was the Wonders of Life on Earth article and a shaving Lady Remington. Here's the mailer, and now we're caught up. So they excised quite a little bit and changed things up. Now we have the same ads for the Christmas subscription, but this page is different. Now looks like we're completely caught up. Some great. This is all the same. I'm sure this article will be the same. Yes, this is all the same. Now we have ad for Hunt's Ketchup and Kennedy. It's on this page, so this is the same. Another picture of Kennedy with his family. it's the same. And now the final ad is the same. So weird, huh? There weren't a lot of differences, but there were some. And my best guess is copyright issues, or maybe defunct companies that got absorbed by other companies. I'm not exactly sure, but there definitely are differences, which is interesting. Which means if you buy this reprint, you're not actually getting what was in the original. So, something to note, and I hope you found this interesting. And I'll see you tomorrow night, same time. Bye.